This is Gam Chat. My name is Greg.
I'm McCoy.
And I'm D.
We're three Filipino gay guys trying to make sense of anything and everything in the world today. Welcome to our podcast. The first things first, guys, why are we creating a podcast in the middle of a pandemic of quarantine?
Well, you guys bullied me into it. So that's why we're here. No, I'm just, in all seriousness, I just want to discuss things.
Everyone is kind of looking for an outlet. I can only bug Amado so many times and walk my dogs 4 times a day. I need something else that's gonna stimulate my brain. I need to have conversations. If I can't do it in person, either I can do it, with you guys on a podcast. And hopefully, engage with others after that, too.
Yeah, I think that we are on month 4, right? Of quarantine. And let's be honest, things are getting pretty crazy. As they say, it's getting very 2020 is the new word of crazy. And I think having an outlet to talk about or even to process the stuff that's going on, I think it's necessary. Just for my own sanity.
Yes, we are 6 months in 2020 right now, and I don't even know what else is left, so...
Wait, no, it's not 6 months, it's 7.
Oh, see? Thank you for disappointing me even more. But yes.
Well, the good news is that we're over halfway there, right? The year's almost over, thank goodness. In creating this podcast, I think we all need a space to look at life just from a different angle and different perspectives. Some of our goals and our mission for this podcast is to start a conversation.
Yeah, I want to start a conversation. I want people to start thinking about issues.
Yeah, I think that, coming from our own perspectives as 3 Filipino gay guys, we don't hear the conversations that, I guess, reflect us. We need to show, I feel like we need to show more representation, just diversity of our voices, and on this platform, but other platforms. And I think we definitely will. That's the goal, at least my goal of it.
Yeah, it actually would be nice to hear other people within our community as well. You mentioned representation. I don't think we really hear a lot from maybe our age group and then the experiences that we've had. Maybe I'm using it as a tool to kind of reminisce to, recall things that we've experienced. So I'm doing this maybe on selfish reasons, but hey, it's quarantine, so...
Well, speaking of reminiscing, why are we calling this podcast Gam Chat?
AOL started about 1983, but the instant messaging popped off in chat rooms around 1997. So GAM, for people who's not might
aware.
Be younger than us,
is
gay Asian male. AOL had the chat rooms, GAM for GAM.
Yes.
Does it sound good now that it doesn't really include other people, but gay Asian male for a gay Asian male? So it's a safe space that we can kind of just meet virtually.
Let's take it back a little bit here. This is a time when everything was all about dial-up. So in order to get AOL, you actually had to have connected to your home line, right? Home.
Oh, Lord. Yes.
Your landline.
And then, your landline. It's what it's called. Yeah, it's called landline. And what happens is that you would go onto your computer, open up this program, which you got for free on some CD. You put it in your computer, download it, and then to connect, you would actually connect your computer to your landline, and then it would make some noise, and then you'd be all good. You'd be in the program where you could have little chat rooms. And as D says, GAM for GAM, gay Asian male for gay Asian male. But if your dad or mom picked up the phone, or your tita picked up the phone, the chat will get disconnected.
It's another 10 minutes to just connect and try to pick up where you left off. So,
and the GAM for GAM rooms for me was a big moment, because let's say it was the late 90s when it first took off. And so before that, we had, I think, Frontiers magazine classifieds. I'm not gonna say anything about that. And so this is the final point for gay Asian males could connect to other gay Asian males without going to West Hollywood because we were all too young, right?
Well, the thing with me is I didn't even know there was a West Hollywood. I went to high school in Orange County, and I was very far away from West Hollywood. I didn't know where the gay people met other gay people. So to me, AOL in the chat room was very instrumental in making friends that were similar, I guess.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the reasons why I had that attachment to AOL and the GAM chat rooms is because, I had this preconceived idea of what being gay was. Like, I mean, this is another topic of coming out, but,
Yes.
it was a negative connotation to me until I actually found, like, wait, this is people that I can relate to every day and no difference from what others describe being gay was. So and it was really like a comfort zone for me to have that room and like have met everyone else that I've met.
Well, I'm glad you said that because, the way I looked at the gay community was you don't really have relationship. It was very superficial, I guess is the word. But when I got into the chat rooms and I actually found friends and it felt good, it made me realize I can have relationships with these people. I had no idea.
What are your screen names, guys?
Oh my god.
See, it's not as cringy, but it's still like so dated. Mine was PAKYOOH, and it was like little small letter capital.
Yes.
Pak you, that was it. And I don't know. I think I was just too lazy to change it, so I kept with it.
It was Pak you, like
Yes.
like fuck you, like fuck you, like that.
Yes.
Oh my god, I just got it right now.
Oh my god, good.
You never oh my gosh.
I thought it was like some Asian character of anime or something that I'm not aware of.
Well, mine is McCoy's Curse.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, mine's McCoy's Curse. And that's why my friends call me McCoy, I think because of that. It was a nickname my best friend at the time actually gave me. And I thought, what else am I gonna put? So I just stuck with it. How about you, Greg?
Mine was okay. So my first one was lame. It was J Gap III, which is my initials, and I'm the third, right? And it got me 0 play in Gam for Gam room. Like nobody took it serious, right? They're like, and then my friend Matthew changed it for me so that would get more play. It was X Pinoy with the 1 player 69X.
Maybe, but Greg, maybe it's not the name. Maybe it's you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you never got any.
X Pinoy player 69 never got me play either. So I didn't
So
get that
really,
much
it's
play.
really just you. It's really not your screen names.
You know what? As D's screen name is, fuck you. Oh gosh. Okay, but I did make. Here's the thing. I made friends. I would have to say
Yes.
I made friends that were in my age bracket. Like I didn't have to go to like the classifieds ads of Frontiers or West Hollywood, in which were majority just like honestly like white gay guys. White older gay guys. And so Gam for Gam, I think for me was created like a space where you can met people that were your same age group, had the same cultural like upbringings, and
Well, you can hook up with, you mean?
And then there was the hookup culture, of course. You should know that about that, McCoysters.
Yes. Okay. For me, the chat room was more like a safety thing. I think because no one ever taught me about safe sex and all that. So the friends I actually made on the chat rooms actually taught me about that, because it's embarrassing to admit, but my dad actually pulled me out of sex ed in middle school, so I had no idea. So I'm glad, because it could have been dangerous, when you meet up with people to discuss things, your favorite color and stuff, you have to be safe when you're doing that.
But actually, from what I remember, the community was so small that if it was a new person that came out, it was like, ooh, I know who you are, and this is what you like, this is where you live, this is where
Yes.
you... It had that, kind of scary
It's kind of
thing.
creepy. Yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was
But back
like...
then, it made sense.
Yeah, it made, it's like someone had, like, Google searched you But again, it's AOL. To me, I did find safety in it. For some reason, like someone can vouch for someone still.
Yes.
And like I think
You're
you guys
right.
mentioned, right? Like
Yeah.
it's much more friendlier before, from what
Yes.
I remember.
Actually, you saying that I felt safe. Like I said, when you meet up with people to discuss things like your favorite color, I felt safe doing that. Meeting up with people you just met online because I felt like it was a community. Everyone knew each other, and everyone genuinely wanted to connect with other people,
Well,
whether
in
it be
certain
on the
ways,
physical.
yeah.
Wait, let's take it. Let's take it back. So you connected with people that had the same favorite color as yours?
Well, you discuss
that's
things when
slightly
you
a
meet
lie.
with people. What do you mean? You meet up with people, you go to their house, and you discuss things like food and, different
Your favorite
ideas.
color.
Yes.
I,
What
okay,
did
I
you
will
do
say that-
when you met up with people?
I would say that Gam for Gam, like unlike today, I think looking at like my own god kids now, Gam for Gam back then is that you could meet people, but then you would also were inclined to meet them in person, and
Yes.
you didn't just stay online. You actually got out and met other Gam for Gam people, and the coolest part about it is that there's a lot of friendships that made. There was a lot of really good parties. There's a lot of I think a lot of camaraderie around this during this time, and a lot of drama that happened as well.
Oh yeah,
Good
absolutely.
times. Good times.
I mean,
Yeah.
am I naive to think like the intentions were much? I mean, there was that intention of like meeting someone, hooking up. If you find them attractive, go for it. But I think the intentions were a little bit more wholesome. Like in my thing, like I came in there like I want to meet more people that I can go out and actually can connect to. It almost to the point where I separated myself from like my straight friends at a point. These are people that I don't have to hide anything, can understand me, are excited to like know more about me, where past was like, I'm not willing to share that yet. So it was almost like leading like a double life. Like I'm gonna hang out with this, and then
Yes.
after that I'm gonna go with these kind of friends. So
Yeah, I totally agree. It's almost like back then when you first came out, you were almost like this vampire. Like you couldn't hang out with your straight friends anymore because you just couldn't connect to them. And then when you're in this chat room, you could 100% be yourself, and you could have conversations with other guys like yourself. That was pretty cool.
all right. So what memory sticks out to you the most? Like hangout or like first meeting up people?
Yes, I met, I guess, my first friend. He came over and we just talked. Honestly, just talked. It felt nice to actually befriend someone that's new, and there was no expectation of anything. And it started there for me, and I loved it. And another experience is I learned how to type really fast. Because you had the chat room, plus you had different personal windows, like maybe 5 or 6. You're chatting with different people individually. Because when someone new comes on, everyone sends them like an instant message.
What was that? What's your ASL?
Oh, well, age, sex, location.
That's it, right? It's not even like hi. It's just like ASL. That's it.
But see, I don't think the ASL applied to Gam for Gam because you
Yeah.
knew everyone was gay and male. So I think that maybe applied to a more like an open
Or the profile.
chat room, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, the profile.
Do you guys remember any drama that went down in the chat room?
Oh my God, yes.
Tell us some.
Okay. I had this
Spill
friend.
this tea, McCoy.
Oh, okay. No, it's nothing big. Now I think it's stupid when I think back. But I have this friend, and this guy liked him, but he didn't like that guy. So we were chatting on the chat room, and he felt like we were ignoring him or something. So what he did was he called each of our landlines to cut us off from the chat room. Three of us, one after another, and I was like, "What the?"
The shade. That is good.
I could never forget that. I was like, "Oh my God."
Okay, who are the most popular screen names?
Oh, I don't remember
It wasn't
people's
me.
screen names anymore.
Oh, come on. You remember who Flip Eternal is.
No, I actually no, I haven't because there came a point where I stopped going to the chat rooms because I became friends with these people outside the chat rooms and we just hang out in person.
No, I get you. I think I used the
Yeah.
chat room as a stepping stone to actually meet people in
Yeah.
person. And once we just met everyone, like I met our group in person, it was kind of like, okay, I'm done like really going in there, but I
Yeah.
still value like the role that I played in my
Oh, yes.
coming out. It was, as much as sometimes it was cringy, but I found like I managed to stick to the good side of it. And I think I was coming into the end of it too. That's why.
Yeah. Because I think I joined around 1998, so I was like early on in a way. But the funny thing is, like I didn't meet you in the chat room. I met you afterwards because we had
Yes, in
mutual
person
friends.
already.
And same
Yes.
thing with Greg. I don't think we were friends online, but we had mutual friends because you were too highbrow for me.
Excuse me.
You were
Was it
too
the screen
fancy,
name
and
that
I'm very
put
like,
you off? It was like,
maybe.
that's not approachable.
What you didn't?
Yeah,
you didn't
maybe.
like Pinoy Player 69X.
Oh, Lord. Like I close my eyes and I see the capital, small letter capital
It
spelling
is.
of that screen name. I can't.
Yeah, it didn't work, guys. It really didn't work. I think McCoy, out of three of us, McCoy was the most popular one in the Gown for Gamroad.
Oh my gosh,
definitely not
notorious you
me.
mean?
McCoysters.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
stop saying it.
You made me think of this too. It's like creating like a safe space. It really was a safe space to be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned like drama, there was some things, but it wasn't as malicious as
Yeah, it wasn't.
I see it now. It really more
Yeah.
of just like sometimes it's like this person doesn't, I like this person, but they don't like me back, so it's more like retaliation. That's what I saw, but not
Yes.
necessarily like very malicious way. So it was very friendly. Like people had intentions of yes, let's meet in person and actually get to know each other, rather than like now where it's kind of let's hang out and it goes nowhere.
I think back then a majority was around the same age, like early 20s, late teens. So there was like a level of immaturity, I guess.
It was our 20s, right?
I was
yeah,
like more.
early
I got
20s
on
for
it like
me.
at maybe 18, 19, I think.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Because 97, I was 18. So I was like 19, I think.
But yeah, and I think I was 15 at that age.
Oh, yeah, really.
Okay, maybe I wasn't, but similar.
My like live recorder just kind of popped off when you said that. Like it didn't record it. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, actually, there came a point in the chat room where, who's gonna be at Oz tonight? And you're just like, I'm gonna be there, and you just meet up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, what was the club? Sometimes you just say, I'm gonna be at the Abbey, when the Abbey used to be a restaurant, when it wasn't the way
It wasn't a
not the way it is
restaurant.
now.
It was a coffee house. Remember?
No, there was a bar.
No, it was a
no,
coffee
the
house.
bar came later.
Because I could only go there for like tea and coffee. Because I couldn't get into the clubs.
Wait, but they served food, like pasta and
Yeah,
stuff.
they serve like cheesecake. They've always served cheesecake, but I couldn't get into the clubs, guys. Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah,
oh
but
my god,
like-
I'm so pathetic.
Wait, I don't even remember. Was like text messaging like popping already by then? Is it why were we?
Oh my
No.
god.
Like we were
No.
using that
I
as
barely
to
got my
communicate
phone.
with everyone, right?
Yeah, I barely
Yeah.
got my
Oh,
phone
yeah.
then.
Because
And then,
before
when
it
you
was
go somewhere-
pagers.
Yes,
well, I mean,
yes.
It was our tool to be like, hey, I'm gonna go here on this
Yes.
night at this time. Who's gonna like that was our like group messaging to everyone.
Yes. When you want to meet up with someone and go to their house and discuss issues, you have to get their type
Was
their
it
address on
political
MapQuest.
or?
Sometimes, and you have
So
to
it can
type their
get
address
heated
on.
up. It
Oh,
can-
absolutely! It got hot.
I feel like this is a lie detector thing going off right now. Beep, 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 beep.
So anyway, you put their address on MapQuest and you print it out, and you have to follow
Yes!
those directions.
Lord,
Yes.
And if you don't have ink, you're fucked. You just have to remember how to
Yes.
get there.
Yes. Oh, people were more independent then. They actually remembered phone numbers and
Yes.
directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is funny because it was a transitional as far as technology is concerned. It was like transitioning into like
Yeah.
this new form of technology, right? So that it was like actually like barely text messaging, right? It was all before it was pagers and that. Wow.
And the funny thing about AOL too is like not everyone had pictures because it was kind of hard to find like a scanner. Not everyone had a scanner, but pictures were kind of required because you know you don't want to get catfished.
It happened to all of us. Let's be honest.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
I
God,
never did it,
remember
but I got
that too.
catfished. Like
But
what
just the
happened?
process of like scanning your pictures is if you did not have one or if you scanned it too large and then it was
Yes.
just like uploading it for 20 minutes. Yeah, that was hell. That was hell.
I had to go to a Kinko's kind of place to get my picture. Oh, so embarrassing.
And if you're listening, we'll post those photos on our
No,
social
no,
media.
No, we are not. We are not.
Wait, didn't D find his love on Gam for Gam?
We are not talking about that.
Yes, he did. So usually, like you know how people have like high school sweethearts, we have Gam for Gam sweethearts on this
Oh
podcast.
my gosh. Yeah, you're right.
That
Yeah,
has to
none
be
of mine
for,
worked
like,
out.
longer.
No, none of mine worked out. It's just, you know, the conversation just ended.
What you do is like you get a car right away, so both your names are in the loan, so you can't get out of it, and that's longevity. That's the secret.
Buying property together. Yes.
You start with a
That's
car,
how you trap
move
a
on.
man.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have Gam for Gam sweethearts on this podcast. But you know, I think the best part of that is that we all became friends through Gam for Gam. Like that's our connection.
Yeah.
And so how many years has it been?
20?
18.
28. I think like
I've known you
yeah.
guys for 18 years, but you guys, again, I came in,
Because it came
late.
Greg, it came later, yeah.
Oh, this is the newbies. Yeah, so it's been
Yeah.
20 years. It's been about 20 years since we've been friends with a lot of people on Gam for Gam.
Yeah.
So that should lead us into the Filipino word of the day.
Oh, so the word of the day is kaibigan, which means friend. Because you know, I met a lot of my friends on Gam for Gam, and I'm still friends with a lot of them. So there you go.
And use it in a sentence, please.
But no, let's hear Greg say it first. What's the word again, McCoy?
Yes, kaibigan.
Kaibigan.
Oh, that was
Okay.
good. Okay, that was good.
That's
That was
acceptable.
good.
See, I know how to speak Tagalog. Now, can you use it in a sentence? Oh.
No, it means friend. What else kind of sentence?
Well, how would you use it? Like, if someone who's not Filipino is watching this, what are you going to say?
I said I've met a lot of my friends, or I should say, kaibigan, on Gam for Gam.
I met a lot of my kaibigans on Gam for Gam. That?
Okay, yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. And we'll continue practicing on that. Thanks, McCoy, for the word of the day. But that concludes our podcast. What can people expect on this podcast, guys? What are you going to tell them? What can we tell
Just different,
them?
different topics. Some serious, some fun. Current events.
I mean, we can dive into political. I'm looking forward to having some guests down the line who can, again, I'm all about learning. If they can share their experiences or their knowledge with us, that would be good.
Yeah, I think that, on the show, we definitely will talk about just a wide range of topics that will directly and indirectly affect all of us in our community. I think talking about topics that people don't normally talk about within their community or how it directly relates to our communities. Like, you don't hear that very often, and I'm sure podcasts will explore those. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot. If you could pick one guest to appear on our podcast, who would it be?
Wait, I'm really stuck. So
Yeah, I'm stuck too. Actually, I don't even know.
maybe because of what we're doing right now, but Ira Glass, I would want to just learn everything, how he does his topic, how he does the rundown. I know it's more structured format for him ever since I heard This American Life. So that would be a nice learning experience or talk to him.
I would love Ira Glass. How about you, McCoy?
I thought we were talking about people we know.
Oh, okay, go ahead, because I want to know what your reason is.
Yeah, who would you want to bring on the show, on the podcast?
Well, I
McCoy?
don't. I guess it depends on it depends on the topic. But if we're talking about big names, I don't know, Ezra Klein.
Go
I like
ahead.
his insight.
I agree.
Yeah.
And he's kind of cute. So
Kind of cute, so someone gets a crush. Maybe he's
He's
in
married.
Gam
no,
room.
he's married. He's
So
married with a
they-
kid
so
or
they-
something.
The intentions are different.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Just talk about politics and your favorite color.
You, Greg, who do you have in mind?
Who would I like to bring on this podcast just to interview? I would actually like to interview Kamala Harris.
Oh,
That's it?
So we're all pretty
Yeah.
aiming high.
Just a tad high on that
Yeah,
one.
okay.
I just think that her perspectives on being a woman of color and and just representing different communities that are not normally represented in mainstream politics, I think should be amazing. All right, that concludes our official first podcast. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, or want to let us know what your screen name is, hit us up on our social media.
on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Gam Chat Podcast.
Or you can also hit us up by email at gamchatpodcast@gmail.com. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.